In Emperor of Ocean Park Episode 8, we witnessed what kind of relationship Oliver had with Jack Ziegler. After ensuring that the people responsible in the hit and run that claimed Abby's life were slain, Jack requested that Judge Oliver do something for him. He wanted him to render a decision in his client's favor. Judge Oliver was aware that he would have to meet his obligations at some point, but delivering a biased and legally incorrect judgment was not what he had anticipated. So, let's look at what happened in the 9th episode, and see if we can finally figure out what the arrangements were. What were the arrangements? In 2004, after being approached by Jack Ziegler, Judge Oliver determined that he would not render an erroneous decision in favor of Ziegler's client. Oliver Garland was a well-regarded judge, and his conscience and loyalty to the legal justice system prevented him from committing that blasphemy. However, the counsel who defended the case against Ziegler's client had to bear the repercussions of Oliver's acts. She was dead, and Oliver realized he couldn't afford to get involved with these individuals. Oliver realized he needed to give in and do whatever was expected of him. So, at the end of Emperor of Ocean Park Episode 9, we finally found out what the arrangements were. Oliver intended to videotape every conversation he had with Jack Ziegler. Since leverage was his only option, he knew he needed it. So, in essence, the arrangements were in a folder on Oliver Garland's laptop, and Jack Ziegler needed it because he knew the evidence had the potential to implicate him and his clients. It will be intriguing to watch how and when Talcott and Mariah learn about it, and whether they are able to expose the truth about his father's death. What did Talcott learn about Kimmer? In Emperor of Ocean Park Episode 9, we saw that Talcott was always insecure due to Kimmer's activities, which I believe is the worst thing that can happen in a relationship. I mean, a person must feel at peace, otherwise, their life would be a battle. This is exactly what happened to Talcott. He suspected Kimmer in certain areas, most likely where she was not doing anything wrong. But that's what occurs when someone loses faith in another person, and in this case, I believe Kimmer was totally to blame. She asked Talcott to let go of the past and concentrate on the present, but it's easier said than done, especially when you're not the one being wounded. Talcott for a long time believed she was having an affair with her employer, but this was not the case. She was having an affair with her intern who attended the same institution where Talcott worked. He was the same person Talcott had seen on several occasions, and he suspected he was being followed. Talcott had warned Kimmer several times that he was being followed by an unknown person, but Kimmer always dismissed his fears as insane. Talcott finally understood why she had done that. So Mariah saw the guy driving an Audi, and she saw damage on the rear. Mariah remembered Talcott telling her about the Audi a few days earlier, and how he had thrown a hammer at it. Mariah called Talcott to tell her about it. Later, when she went to Talcott's university to meet him, she noticed the lad. Talcott challenged him, which is how he learnt everything. The guy informed Talcott that Kimmer had decided to discontinue their affair, since she understood it was bad for her nomination. The guy had gotten obsessed with Kimmer, and he was not ready to let go. Talcott overheard Kimmer talking on the phone and imagined she halted her affair to avoid hurting him. However, knowing that she indulged in someone against her will because she liked the person was difficult to swallow. In the season finale, we'll find out what Talcott intends to do with his marriage, and whether he's willing to stay with a chronic cheater. What were Talcott and Mariah planning to do? Talcott called Mariah after receiving a threat from an unidentified person. Talcott became agitated after this blackmailer texted him his son's image, and he immediately left for Kimmer's residence. The same message stated that Talcott needed to make arrangements within the next 24 hours if he wanted his son to live. Talcott decided to make the blackmailer feel he had the preparations. Talcott understood that until they realized they had been duped, he would find a way out of the predicament. Mariah opened a bank locker and filled it with burnt documents and storage devices. Talcott asked his colleague Dana to bury the locker key in the graveyard, where Lisa F. Meredith and Melvin Healy Matthews were buried. Talcott decided to dig it out later that night. Talcott anticipated that his blackmailer would follow him, which is exactly what happened. McDermott, who had previously met Talcott and was posing as an FBI agent, appeared unexpectedly.